Hello. Wait, hold on. Have you ever felt trapped by a financial system that wasn't built for you? I should have got my phone. Great. Hold on. I'll come back.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful personal story. But it's more than that. It's basically a masterclass in how to navigate Canada's super complex disability support system. It's a journey that shows you how to turn all that bureaucratic fine print from a trap into a real tool for financial freedom. So let's get right into it. And this quote right here, it just gets straight to the heart of the problem. It's from Camille DeAndre Stewart, who also goes by Minnie St. And wow, does it capture a painful paradox. The very system that's supposed to be your safety net can often feel like it's the thing holding you back the most. So let's meet the person who's going to be our guide through this whole maze. This is Minnie St. She was a successful digital entrepreneur, but her life, well, it was about to take a very sharp and totally unexpected turn. So picture this. For years, she was a self-employed professional, running her own business right from her home since way back in 2003. She was in control, she was focused, and she was building her own future. Then, in 2008, a sudden psychiatric crisis just changed everything. Her business completely collapsed, and with no savings, no sick leave, there was just no safety net. As she spiraled into
Okay, we're back. Yay. So let me start over again because I needed the second mount, the phone to check the screen, to check the audio, and here we are. So, have you ever felt trapped by a financial system that wasn't built for you? So many of us are told that living on disability benefits means our financial story is already written. Hold on. But what if that's not true? What if there's a way to take back your power, start building and take back your power and start building wealth? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Disabled Wealthy right here on the Minnie on Cam YouTube channel. I'm your host, Minnie St. I'm so glad you're here today. For far too long, the story around disability and money has been one of survival, scarcity, and limitation. But here we're rewriting the story where financial peace, independence, and soft life are absolutely possible for entrepreneurs with disability. Today's live stream is going to connect the three frameworks that completely change how I manage my business and personal life, which are Donald Miller's 5 bank accounts, the simple, powerful system for running a small business with clarity and control. Donald Miller has set up how to run your business like to take off like an airplane. Makes my life easier because I only have to worry about 6 parts of the airplane, which in this book here, black cover with white and gold text. Donna Miller's How to Grow Your Small Business, a 6-step plan to help your business take off. So I got this book with a gift card from one of my companies I work for. They gave me a gift card. I decided to buy Donna Miller's book with a gift card. I also have Business Made Simple as well, which that book is here, is on the floor. I have to grab it soon. But that's one of the frameworks where the 5 bank accounts, operating expenses, personal account, business savings account, tax account, investing holding account. Then I also follow the Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. That's the foundation for my household finances and where I gain financial peace and independence. Even while living on disability benefits, I'm eligible for the Ontario Disability Support Program. I mainly follow policy directive 5.4 self-employment income. Then there's 4.8 life insurance policies. Then there's assets and income. But I broke it down to 5 parts of ODSP policy directive that I manage my life, my finances around, that I have complete control of my finances on my own terms, where I feel like I'm on a cloud in this weird euphoric way of I'm not going to let my caseworker bother me because they don't understand the policy, but I do. So my best bet is to understand the policy directive and advocate for myself. Dave Ramsey baby steps. We'll get into them in the presentation, live stream. And then as a person living with bipolar disorder, relapse remitting multiple sclerosis, chronic health condition, I've learned that my best path to long-term wealth and independence is a small global business, sticking with the policy directive 5.4 self-employment income in ODSP, which is Ontario Disability Support Program, not waiting for the system to fix itself, because the system, the Prime Minister of Canada decided to add $150 to people who are eligible for the disability tax credit and have a Canada disability tax credit and have the Canada disability benefit that are eligible for it. It's $150. That is my internet bill. Like, really? Yeah. So if I waited around for the system to fix itself, one, I would be more depressed. Two, I probably have more relapses of multiple sclerosis. And I would just be, I wouldn't be able to talk to you the way I am now, with laughter and joy and hope and confidence at all. Like, if disability benefits was my only income source, to live on that, would I still have this apartment? I would barely have this apartment. Oh, I would barely have this apartment. Because, oh man, either way, the point we're doing here is I have combined proven frameworks that work, that I'm working, and that I'm working because they work, so I can break free from legislative poverty, protect myself legally, stay accountable to myself and my business, which also is my customers in my business, where I cover personal finance for myself and my financial future. Because me at 65 does not want to talk to a caseworker. Did Siri? I don't want to talk to it. The tax man, CRA, I can live with talking to them at 65. But I don't want to talk to an ODSP caseworker. I don't want to go into an office at ODSP in my neighborhood. And that place smells like rotten flesh. I don't want to go there. So to not go there, I have to work this financial framework that I talk about week to week, month to month on my channel that I'm doing, even with relapse or remitting multiple sclerosis, where I'm quietly waiting to start my new disease-modifying drug treatment, Mavenclad, as I'm waiting for the Ontario government to cover it. And here's how the spiral feels like a dog chasing his tail. So I'm eligible for Ontario Disability Support Program. I have relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. I'm changing prescriptions. The neurologist and the multiple sclerosis clinic that I go to has to fill out extra paperwork to get my prescription covered, my treatment covered in the Ontario government in multiple layers of the government. If I was not eligible for Ontario Disability Support Program because my income or my assets or both are too high, I would move on from Ontario Disability Support Program health benefit to extended health benefits inside of Ontario Disability Support Program. Then they review my income and assets every year inside of extended health benefits. If I have a year where my income and assets still remain higher than what extended health benefits give me, and I'm too rich to be in that part of the Ontario government disability program, I move on to Trillium. Trillium is inside of the Ontario government. It's based on income, not assets. They would review my cost of quarterly premiums based on my income, 4% of my income, expenses for medical expenses based on my income tax return. I've noticed assessments, but the formulary that they use to determine what they pay for in prescriptions is the same drug formulary that Ontario Disabilities Program uses. I never really escape the government, because a lot of people ask me, like, if I want to exit off of disability benefits, when would that be? Ideally, as soon as possible, based on my income, revenue coming in, regardless of what's happening with my multiple sclerosis. It's a big goal. It's really ridiculously goal, but it's the only thing that gives me hope and get out of bed every single morning. And then show up here every single week and talk about it, and then go through the process, the emotions, and break it down because nobody else is talking about this. So back to insurance. So every time I think about the insurance, ODSP pays for my insurance right now. Then my multiple sclerosis is the most expensive thing I have for my disability because my Seroquel, Quietapine, it's like $1,200 a month. And I'm trying to ignore my bladder. I have to go back on a break. I'll be right back.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful personal story. But it's more than that. It's basically a masterclass in how to navigate Canada's super complex disability support system. It's a journey that shows you how to turn all that bureaucratic fine print from a trap into a real tool for financial freedom. So let's get right into it.
And this quote right here, it just gets straight to the heart of the problem. It's from Camille DeAndre Stewart, who also goes by Minnie St. And wow, does it capture a painful paradox. The very system that's supposed to be your safety net can often feel like it's the thing holding you back the most. So let's meet the person who's going to be our guide through this whole maze. This is Minnie St. She was a successful digital entrepreneur, but her life, well, it was about to take a very sharp and totally unexpected turn. So picture this. For years, she was a self-employed professional, running her own business right from her home since way back in 2003. She was in control, she was focused, and she was building her own future. Then, in 2008, a sudden psychiatric crisis just changed everything. Her business completely collapsed, and with no savings, no sick leave, there was just no safety net. As she spiraled into major depressive episodes, she had no choice but to turn to the world of social assistance. Now, you'd think entering the system would be about getting help, right? Well, it wasn't that simple. It was really the beginning of a whole new battle, this time against systemic barriers that felt like they were almost designed to keep her down. $599. Just think about that for a second. From 2009 to 2011, that was her total monthly income on Ontario Works. As she put it, it was barely enough to survive, let alone even think about rebuilding a life or a business. So this timeline really shows the journey. After years of just scraping by, she was finally approved for the Ontario Disability Support Program, or ODSP, in 2011. But here's the kicker, the part that's just wild. The very same year she...
Okay, I'm back. So I mentioned relapse-remitting multiple sclerosis, right? I'm no longer on teriflunomide because Monday I did the hepatitis B vaccine because I had to get that done before I start Mavenclad. Then, before I start Mavenclad, I have to be off of teriflunomide for 2 weeks before I start Mavenclad, which I believe would be Monday. Then, this week coming, November 17 and whatever that week is, I have to call Mavenclad to ask when the pharmacy has gotten permission from the Ontario government to so they have to get the Ontario government to pay for the Mavenclad. Then once they say yes, they ship it to me, then I start it. But the annoying part of coming off of teriflunomide and then the 2-week window, I go through symptoms. They're not fun. So if I have to play my little notebook LM explainer videos in between for a break, that's what I'm going to do because it's just me by myself trying to put this show all together and make it factual and educational, and people think differently about disability, people with disability in Canada and our benefits that we have, our insurance benefits we have. Yes, we have them. Yes, use them. If you're working for an employer and you have disability, you're told by HR there's disability benefits, go look at what they are. Short-term disability, long-term disability, what company is there. Also, if you no longer work at that employer, make sure you bring your benefits with you, meaning not just your EI. EI disability is squat. Your private corporate companies insurance for disability, long-term disability, critical illness insurance before you became disabled and while you're still healthy, working 40 hours a week, doing your, I don't know, 30 to 2 hour commute to work and back home, all that. Because I can tell you that the level of red tape you go through of living with a disability, my case, multiple sclerosis, and I also have bipolar disorder, but multiple sclerosis is the most complicated and the most symptoms and the most disabling for me, where it takes over half of my life, sometimes almost all of it, 90%. And not having good insurance is slowing down the process of me starting treatment. If I had better insurance, it would have been processed already. It would have been processed the same day I took the hepatitis B shot. I know this. I mean, they are moving quickly. They are, considering of when I had a relapse in August to when I did the MRI in September. The neurologist was apologizing for how late it took me to get a MRI in September, then a follow-up with her in October, then her giving me my new treatment plan, telling me to think about it in a week and tell them what I want to do in a week. And exactly in a week, while I'm going to see my other doctor, they call me to ask me what did I pick. I said Mavenclad. And then it was just order everything else. And then, yeah, the Mavenclad patient care team, they called me. That started. I have their phone number. I have to call them and make everything up, sure everything's on schedule. The pharmacist, he's nice. He's lovely. We cracked jokes on my neurologist going on maternity leave. And I said, there's a 50-50 chance of doctors doing that, you know? And then also find it funny that he thinks my neurologist taking maternity leave for 6 months is too short. And I'm like, well, she's dedicated to the work. So I rather a neurologist who wants to get back to work. Straight, because, yo, I mean, I'm okay. Like the clinic I go to, they have over 10,000 patients a year or more. They're worldwide. They're globally recognized. Like, for where having multiple sclerosis for where I'm located in Ontario, I have the best clinic I can go to. I know that. It's living with the multiple sclerosis that drives me up the wall. It does. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, there's Ontario Health at Home program that I was dealing with. My bladder. No. The Ontario Health at Home program. I got discharged from the dietitian, but she gave me a cognitive behavior therapy eating plan program. It has a name for it called Craving Change. It's a Canadian program. Cognitive behavior program that addresses psychology of eating, which I like that better. Like I don't know if you can see it on the wall over here. I have the Canada Food Guide on my wall in my kitchen. So I always plan my food based on what am I eating out of the food guide. I had the pyramid one. There's a pyramid one and a triangle as a kid. And then I got the primary colors one on top, the one with the red bar up here. And that's probably yellow or green, and then blue. And then they changed it where half the plate is vegetables, a quarter of a plate is carbs, and another quarter of the plate is protein. And then it says drink more water, which is essentially okay. I've been doing that. But the other part is I need to exercise 30 minutes a day. Then with living with multiple sclerosis, we know that increased vitamin D, healthy diet and exercise supports the repairing of myelin in the body to repair nerve damage over time. And then depending on when you get multiple sclerosis, and then is it relapse remitting, progressive, primary progressive, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. And then depending on your first, I don't want to say attack, but yeah, attack of symptoms kind of gives doctors a rough estimate of the type of MS you will have based on how many years of MS since the 1900s until now. where this is a wait and see for me. For the most part, things are good. I can get up and walk. I'm very happy about that. My hands they're numb, but they're fine. It's okay. And then I'm managing. That's just pretty much what it is. I'm managing. Because there's not a whole lot that other people can do other than thoughts and prayers and buy me a coffee, which I should put that on the screen. So, and I totally lost track because my bladder just decided to be a bladder. Okay, so we were talking about lived experience, and this episode is personal lived experience and practical. I don't know if it's practical advice, but it's definitely a practical example. Like, I do what I'm saying I'm doing in the videos of my budget videos, like me buying Donna Miller's book and then saving up to buy. So Donna Miller has a small business certified coach program. I would like to take it. So that way I become a certified coach and it helps people in my business and it helps with how I'm a guest speaker on the panel discussion for Disability Without Poverty. The symposium is coming up December 3rd. I've been talking about it for a little bit. I'm pretty excited about it because I finally get to like talk about my decade of experience of navigating disability policy and to the point where I'm like, I am on this direction. There is no program in the province is helping me with this direction. I do it by myself. I have to read the policies by myself. I have to advocate for myself. And most is legal aid, but legal aid is actually confirming what I know is right when I talk to my caseworker. Because I had an appointment with legal aid. We went over everything. I asked a whole bunch of questions, and every answer back from legal aid was, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There was a couple of things that like I was just so far out there that disability office doesn't do. Like I was asking if I could record my meeting with my caseworker when I see them in person so I don't forget anything as a disability accommodation. That's a gray area. I think your best bet is to ask your caseworker if you can do it. So that way you have everything recorded and it also keeps everybody in the room accountable at the same time. Like how when I send messages through my benefits and I try to keep a copy of what I send to my caseworker and my benefits. So there's a double record because my caseworker literally changes every 9 to 12 months. I can't trust a caseworker response in my benefits. They change every 9 to 12 months. Even in the office. I think I told you. July, was it July? Yeah, July when I needed my glasses. And before Canada Post went on strike, or right when they went on strike, I go into the office. I get to the front desk. The caseworker at the front desk was my caseworker who just left. And I'm talking to her like I said her name, but I said her name like I said her name as if the person that has her name abandoned me as my caseworker. Then she got my ID, she pulled up my file, and she said she recognized my name. This is where I realized I'm talking to the lady that I just said abandoned me as my caseworker. Now, I laughed it off because I'm like, well, karma is just kicking me in the butt today because I'm not thinking I'm going to talk to my caseworker who's behind the desk as reception in the office for disability benefits. This is why it is very, very important to be nice to the caseworkers, even though sometimes they drive you insane. Just saying. They're people too. They're real people. I've seen them. Even my backup worker. I've been talking to the backup worker for years on the phone. And last Canada Post strike, I go into the office and I'm like, oh, okay. You're the Carlos on my file. So this whole thing with Ontario Disability Support Program and moving through the baby steps of Dave Ramsey baby steps, which are on the screen over here. And I'll read the disclaimer after, but you can see this better. This is what I follow financially. If I was not on Ontario Disability Support Program, I would be following Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, which is on the left. And then on the right is the Donald Miller 5 bank accounts. And I added some notes, and this is from the presentation that I'm talking to or will be presenting on the YouTube channel Disability Without Poverty. They said next week it'll be on there, but this isn't the presentation side. I probably have to make a separate video for it because there's notes in there, like how Harris's business savings, where I first save 5 to 10% of business income, and then 50% of my business savings is my safety net for the emergency, but it's for the business. Then 50% is quarterly profit distributions, which is my bonus pay. This is also from Profit First. The 50% quarterly distribution is from Profit First. I might not do that only because I don't think I need to do that, but depending on how the business grows. So like personal account, I pay me a salary where I pay myself a living wage. Then that's the gross income. Then out of that gross income, I invest 15% into registered retirement accounts. The investment account is my disability FU money number account where I'm growing my wealth outside of the ODSP's asset limit of $40,000. That is my growth balance fund at one of the 5 major banks. Right now it's $113. It used to be $84. I added $25 to it. The goal is in January, I add $100 a month to it. And I also replenish it with 2,550 because the 2,550 represents the number of the first. Wait, no. Actually, no, it's less. It's 1,500. My bad. I don't know why I got the 2,400 from. So $200 a month was the Canada Disability Benefit. Most months when I got my Canada Disability Benefit money, it was invested in my registered disability savings plan. But I feel like I should invest $100 from my ODSP check a month and invest my Canada Disability Benefit money every month, so that over time will be my exit disability money account. Because it's not in a life insurance product, it's not under 4.8 life insurance policies, it's under exempt assets. It'll be 5.1 treatment of, that's income. 4.2. Wait, hold on, let me read it. Oh, it's not here. Wait, section 4 is assets. Okay, so it's 4.2. It should be 4.2. Great, now I have to find it. Yeah, 4.2. Oh, 4.2 is real estate. 4.1 is assets. Okay, yeah. See, I don't like remembering all of the things that comes with Ontario Disability Support Program. Because like it's a weird thing. I'm excited I remember it, that I memorized it to keep me on track. But I get anxious that I memorized it because every policy in Ontario Disability Support Program is designed to keep you below the poverty line, either by income or assets, like medium household net worth in Canada, medium household net worth Canada. What? No way. Hold on. Okay, medium total and medium net worth. This. It's not like we're falling behind based on income. We are falling behind on everything. I should put this here. Wait, hold on. Lost it. Give me a minute. I have too many slides. Give me a minute. Okay, that is for the Dave Ramsey stuff. Let me make this in the right. Oh, this is the main stage. Okay, this one. And then captions, not closing thoughts. I'm totally off script, completely off script, because just too many things happened today. That's just what it is. Okay, so back to sharing the screen. And chat is open. Okay, so total. Okay, so Stat Canada website. Total and median net worth by age of main income earner and family type. Under age 35. I'm 35 to 44. And then it said medium net worth for 35 to 44 is 400,300. 409,300. And then we have senior family, non-senior families, couples only, couples with children under 18, one parent families, other non-senior families, person not in economic family, and then by province. So by province, and this column on the right is 2023. So for Ontario, 665,600 medium average net worth. Great. So age majority, but there's senior family, non-senior family. I don't know what this means. Why would they do that? Either way, we are below the poverty line on many, many, many factors when you look at all of them. But am I anywhere on this chart? Oh, okay. One parent family in 2019. No, 1999. My bad. So 1999, 96,212. My net worth is 125,000 it is. We're doing a net worth update at the end of the month. But my net worth for a single person who's disabled is basically a one parent family's net worth in 2019. Oh, it is that number. Okay, yeah, it is that number. Persons not in an economic family. Maybe that's single. Maybe that's what it means. Don't know why they would do that. If I Google this, will it tell me what it is? Okay, it says person not in an economic family are individuals who live alone or with others who are not related to them by blood, marriage, common law, adoption, or fostering relationships. Individuals living alone. Okay, good. Now we know what category I fit into. Okay, so persons not in an economic family, net worth in 2023 was 278,200. And then in 2019, it was 126,400. Yeah, I'm these numbers in 2025. Okay, so I'm on track. Okay, now that we know where they are. Yeah. And then based on province. Okay, that helped. I learned something today. I hope you learned something because I that was a lot of statistical learning right there. Okay, person not economic family net worth. 2019, which average significantly lower. I know they're lower because we're single. Okay, Scotiabank has something. Let's see what they have. Okay, so for the first time since 2019, Canada provided a more granular peek of the financial health of households with the release of 2023 survey of financial security. In picture is remarkable. The median net worth of all households jumped by over a third to 520,000 in 23. Younger households under 35 years. Well, I need non-economical family. So where would they put me in a category of like, what? Okay, I'm trying to read the chart. Single parent. But how about single? Okay, I'll put the Scotiabank thing in chat because it's a lot of, you have to read it and really pay attention to what it's giving you. And it's a lot. And it's really more than what I wanted to look for in my runoff sentence with an idea. Okay, so yeah, ODSP, managing that. It's mostly 5 sections of the policy I really pay attention to: assets, income, calculation of income support, benefits, recovery of funds, which is the overpayment, which my overpayment today is $1,710.11. It's going down. Very happy about it, but I would like it gone by July. That is the mission. And ideally, as soon as my body is stable enough that I can work in the capacity I need to, I can do it. Because of the digital business, working from home, low stress, simple job I have as a webcam model. And I say those things because I've been doing it for 22 years and counting. Like, the most thing about webcamming is being online, staying online, and staying online with a consistent schedule that I don't leave my customers hanging. I like my customers on my website. I do. I appreciate them very much. They're very lovely. They're very lovely people for 22 years and counting. It's me as a human being who's got some obstacles that I wish I didn't have so I could focus on my work, which is pretty much like every most persons with disabilities of, we had a job, became disabled. I like to go back to work, but I can't because my body is no longer functioning in the way that it used to. So everything out that you thought you knew or should knew is changed, and you have to reinvent yourself. The reinvention of every time I'm a relapse, I have to reinvent myself, is the most stressful part about it. Okay. Comorbidities, we dive in. Right. If you find value in this conversation and you've been here this long, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, you know when I'm on next. I try to make this as easy to understand as possible because I'm living through the example of self-employed on Ontario Disabilities Program, navigating disability benefits. And yes, it's stressful, but it's a whole lot better than staying below the poverty line. That is the number one thing that I know. It's a whole lot better than staying below the poverty line. So we had a script, and then we had it. Oh, I know what happened. That intro is not my original intro. The intro I thought I was reading was the intro I made specifically to describe the framework I follow for financial peace and independence. That is not the introduction I used in the Saturday live streams when I'm hosting by myself. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So what do we have here? You know what? We'll play a video disclaimer and then we'll come back. And this time, hopefully I can watch some of it because some of them have interesting things that I have questions. So let's play this video.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful personal story. But it's more than that. It's basically a masterclass in how to navigate Canada's super complex disability support system. It's a journey that shows you how to turn all that bureaucratic fine print from a trap into a real tool for financial freedom. So let's get right into it.
And this quote right here is just gets straight to the heart of the problem. It's from Camille Stewart, who also goes by Minnie St. And wow, does it capture a painful paradox. The very system that's supposed to be your safety net can often feel like it's the thing holding you back the most. So let's meet the person who's going to be our guide through this whole maze. This is Minnie St. She was a successful digital entrepreneur, But her life, well, it was about to take a very sharp and totally unexpected turn. So picture this. For years, she was a self-employed professional, running her own business right from her home since way back in 2003. She was in control, she was focused, and she was building her own future.
Then, in 2008, a sudden psychiatric crisis just changed everything. Her business completely collapsed, and with no savings, no sick leave, there was just no safety net. As she spiraled into major depressive episodes, she had no choice but to turn to the world of social assistance. Now, you'd think entering the system would be about getting help, right? Well, it wasn't that simple. It was really the beginning of a whole new battle, this time against systemic barriers that felt like they were almost designed to keep her down. $599. Just think about that for a second. From 2009 to 2011, that was her total monthly income on Ontario Works. As she put it, it was barely enough to survive, let alone even think about rebuilding a life or a business. So this timeline really shows the journey. After years of just scraping by, she was finally approved for the Ontario Disability Support Program, or ODSP, in 2011. But here's the kicker, the part that's just wild. The very same year she's approved, legal aid literally tells her you can't work. Her profitable business, her ambition, it was suddenly being treated like a liability. She describes this whole experience as being stuck in a glowing golden maze. And that is such a brilliant metaphor, right? A system that looks all shiny and helpful from the outside, but once you're in, it's incredibly confusing and hard to navigate. Get this. For years, ODSP even ignored her self-employment income reports, telling her that, most people don't want to be self-employed. Unbelievable. Okay, but this is the turning point. This is where everything changes. Faced with a system that was punishing her for trying to succeed, Minnie made a huge decision. If the system was a game with a bunch of complex rules, she was going to learn how to play it, and she was going to win.
And the key to everything was this really radical mindset shift. She just stopped seeing the policy as a trap that was designed to keep her in poverty. Instead, she started seeing it as a tool, like an instruction manual that, if you just study it carefully enough, could actually show you the path out. And you can just feel the sheer intensity of her focus here. She says she studied the ODSP directive on self-employment like a gazelle running for my life. I mean, this was not some casual reading. This was a fight for her entire financial future. And all that intense studying, it led to some major breakthroughs. She found resources that caseworkers had told her didn't even exist. She totally mastered the complicated forms for reporting her business income, and this is critical. She reframed those dreaded clawbacks, where the government takes back some of your earnings, not as a punishment, but as a predictable expense, kind of like a debt repayment that she could actually plan for. So from all these breakthroughs, she built an entire blueprint, a really practical strategy for actually building wealth while still on disability support. So the question is, how on earth did she do it? And that is the central question her blueprint really answers. How do you take all these dense, confusing regulations and actually transform them into a strategy for your own financial sovereignty? Her strategy really rests on 4 interconnected pillars. First, it's about strategically maximizing your income within the rules. Second, stacking different health benefits on top of each other. Third, mastering the policy to make sure you're always compliant. And maybe most importantly, underpinning it all, making that crucial mindset shift from scarcity to sovereignty. And this slide just illustrates that shift so perfectly. The scarcity mindset is all about fear. Fear of earning too much, fear of losing your benefits. But the sovereignty mindset, it flips the whole question. It's not about what are the limits, it's about how much can I legally and strategically earn within this framework to build a life beyond it? And this wasn't just some vague idea either. She had a concrete goal, $5,000 a month. That was her benchmark, the number that would let her fund her very own private safety net, and finally start planning her exit from social assistance for good. So, to manage that income, she adopted this proven framework with 5 separate bank accounts. Super smart. One for business operations, one for her personal salary, one for business savings and profit, a dedicated tax account so there are no surprises, and finally, an investment account to grow her wealth and build what she calls her disability FU money. So,
Ultimately, this entire blueprint is about creating a real, viable path to true financial independence. It's not about just staying on support forever, but about using it strategically as a launchpad to something much bigger. And that's really the key takeaway here. The goal isn't just to make the system a little more comfortable, it's to build a life where the system isn't even necessary anymore. It's all about building assets, securing your own private insurance, and getting to a level of financial stability that allows for a complete and total exit. And her message really could not be more timely. With a new Canada disability benefit that's set to roll out, understanding these strategies is absolutely urgent. As she warns, without a proactive plan, these new benefits could still leave a lot of people trapped in the exact same old cycle. So let's just sum it all up. The lessons here are so clear and actionable. First, you have to master the policy. It's your instruction manual. Second, build your own safety net with things like private insurance and registered disability savings plans, or RDSPs. Third, you've got to make that fundamental mindset shift from survival to sovereignty. And finally, always, always be planning your exit. You know, Minnie St. Clair's story pretty strongly suggests that yes, it is. But it takes strategy, it takes resilience, and it takes a radical refusal to accept the limits that other people try to place on you. It really leaves us with a powerful question to think about, not just about the systems we build, but about the incredible power of mastering the fine print.
Okay, so before I get into more details, I want to read the disclaimer. I'm openly sharing my financial journey and insights I've gained. Wait, 1 minute. I've gained while pursuing self-employment on the Ontario Disability Program. This isn't just theory, it's born from decades of dedicated research, extensive personal trial and error, and years of intentionally building faith, confidence, and self-esteem. Part of this accelerated growth has involved a conscious choice to invest financially in specialized knowledge and get guidance from private companies, individuals understanding that would significantly speed up my entrepreneurial learning curve. I aim to show that financial independence and financial resilience are achievable while living well with episodic disabilities. It's vital to remember that my path is unique to me. I work closely with appropriate professionals and remain fully compliant with ODSP policy directives while taking massive action towards my goals, including planning how to effectively utilize the Canada Disability Benefit. While my experiences illustrate what's possible, they're not a substitute for professional advice. Your journey will be unique, and it's essential to consult. It's essential to consult qualified professionals to create a strategic, tailored plan to your individual circumstances. Now, that disclaimer is not like a legal disclaimer, but it's definitely a good thing I should say before the beginning of everything, because the way things are going for me financially, they are climbing in numbers I'd never thought was possible. And now that I'm in Dave Ramsey's Baby Step 2, where we focus on, where is it? We focus on, no, that's not it. We're focusing on, so Baby Step 2, Dave Ramsey Baby Steps on the right. Wait, left. My bad. On the left. Baby Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. My debt is 17,000. Where is that number? Give me the script. That's the policy directive. Debt total 17,000. That's January. I need November. Okay, 17,353. So With that happening for me, and I have $1,000 start emergency fund, the next thing I'm going to tackle is my disability overpayment, the $1,710.11. Because once I pay down the disability overpayment, I free up the money that monthly ODSP would take back $81.15 to pay down my overpayment. They've been doing that 6 years, I think, when it was $6,000. And at the time, I didn't see the point of paying my disability overpayment faster because they were already getting their money and it was 0% interest. And over time, they'll get paid in zero. Now that there's literally 21 months away of my disability overpayment being gone, and every July now it increases with inflation, so does the amount of money they collect on my disability overpayment. So I got to baby step one, save $1,000 and start an emergency fund. And then it's in a bank account that holds it for 10 days that I can't access unless I can wait out the 10 days and access my $1,000 emergency fund. I did that purposely because I've noticed when I have $1,000 or any money available in the account that's quick to transfer or move around, I do. I'm trying to change a lot of financial behaviors with the Dave Ramsey baby steps, and me having my $1,000 emergency fund in an account that holds it for 10 days gives me a 10-day buffer to figure things out, which is what it's been doing. Because the muscle spasm I had in August and all the things that happened, it was a lot. And most of it got solved because of the fact that I'm on Ontario Disability Support Program for the emergency crisis I was in, because my relapse multiple sclerosis was triggered by heat. And then I needed to fill out the disability ODSP City of Toronto application form to get my cooling device, because it's once every 4 years. Or I got $300 and bought another fan in the living room. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's when I was to buy, because $300 honestly is not going to buy me an air conditioner for the space that this space is. And I no matter what, I need a cooling device in here all the time. So we did that September, because it was from June until September. It was a short window. It's like the application process to get the cooling device money from the City of Toronto that goes to your caseworker, that goes to a third party. This is also how you access some of the benefits in Ontario. How I learned from the social worker that I could get a housekeeper to come in to help me with the meal prepping and cleaning if I filled out a whole separate form of what's my disability, how much income and assets I have, to the City of Toronto to get a subsidized program to hire a cleaning service and a PSW. When if I contacted a private agency, I just had to pay them like $80 for 3 hours. Max $100 for 3 hours. That's the PSW coming in and doing meal prep. If I'm hiring the cleaning service from the company I want, the deep clean oven, deep clean bathroom, kitchen, deep clean. I've been living here for 18 years. The place needs a deep clean. No matter how much I clean, I cannot get this place as clean as it was the day I moved in. Because I learned the building hired a professional to do it when I moved in. So what makes them think that little old me by myself, who barely has function in my two little hands, was able to do it? Unless I hire professionals to do it every single day. That is their job. So that is like $300 for a deep clean. Then bi-weekly cleaning is $168 a week for 2 weeks. So it's like 300 something for 2 weeks. I may drop to once a month. It all really depends. And what depends on how much of my functioning in my hands from the muscle spasms do I have or not have. And then the annoying part, I don't want to explain it to nobody else. I don't. that is so if I want to gain back all my autonomy, gain back my privacy, gain back my decision power. I have to make more money and pay off my debt and make sure that I have more assets than ODSP says I'm allowed to have. So I can use my income and assets for whatever the hell I want. If it's hiring a cleaning service once a week, hiring a private chef, doing massages every week, acupuncture every week, gold facials for $350 in 90 minutes, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, this mission, this formula of steps doesn't happen on government assistance. They don't want you to live on your own. It's literally designed that way. They want you dependent and scared on them not to make a decision. Don't move your assets. Don't move out of the country and get your $1,408 a month. That's the base of health right now for ODSP. If you're a single person, no children, who's already approved for having a disability that fits the criteria of 12 months or more. I did that 2019. You watched the video. I like this disclaimer video because, I hate the part of the video that it says, it acts like I quit my job because of my disability. I never quit my job because of my disability. I work less. I took hiatus. I took breaks because juggling the mental illness, because what got me on ODSP was the psychiatric disorder, bipolar disorder. What got me to stay on it with my medical review was the multiple sclerosis. Do I sound angry? Yes, I am. Because when I did the medical review, I wasn't thinking that my multiple sclerosis would keep me on at that time. Like I was showing symptoms of clinical isolated syndrome, multiple sclerosis symptoms in 2013. 2013, I just finally found a working psychiatric drug to manage my bipolar disorder. And I was getting back to work. I finally got into my disability office and they finally told me how to report my income for being self-employed. Remember my $5,000 a month goal that I have that's been in the video, I talked about in the video? That was what we're going to work on as soon as my bipolar disorder was stable. It was in therapy, they asked you to have a goal and make it smart and make it the specific and measurable and actionable and all those. And I did over and over and over again. I went to college. I did the same thing. Every employment program they had me go through where they're like, oh, let's make a goal for you for your employment stuff. I did make $5,000 for my business, American. It's always that goal. That goal doesn't go away. And then and if you come into my life and try to tell me to make that goal realistic, I'm going to tell you to shut up. Because that is my goal. It's been my goal from day one. And the reason I did it before I became psychotic with bipolar disorder. So wouldn't it make sense that I go back and work on that goal since I know I was capable of doing it before? The only thing that changed was my disability. And entrepreneurship, there's no disability accommodation. I have to accommodate myself. So whatever I need, more rest, more sleep, work from home, work with a computer, use AI. I've done all those things. But my job is still expecting me to perform at the highest level to meet customer standards and industry expectations. When I say it out loud, it feels like I'm yelling at people who try to tell me that I shouldn't be working in my industry because of my disability. Y'all don't get to decide that. Because at the end, where are you? Where everybody who gave me those advice? And they're like, oh, I only want to help you. Not one of them are here. Not a one. Not even the caseworker. The joke is, in the video and my presentations, one for Marshall Dimes, one for Disability Without Poverty, the ones I have on my YouTube channel, I had caseworkers literally tell me that I couldn't work anymore and that I couldn't go back to make $5,000 anymore because of my disability. They are no longer my caseworker. I have no idea where the hell those people are. The lawyer that told me when I got approved for ODSP, I don't know where she is. I barely remember going into her office on Queen Street. Barely remember. Because you had like a half an hour, 5 minutes in my life, and you come in with your little opinion. I have to live with me every day. Every day I wake up, I have to live with me. So if I need to keep going and having the goal of making $5,000 in my business, which is $416, wait, a week? Is it? Hold on. I need a calculator. Okay, so 5,000 a month, $60,000 a year. How much is that a week? Okay, $1,153.85 a week I have to make in my business. And then if I'm working 5 days a week, it's 230, 76 cents, 77 cents, 5 days a week, 230. The most I made on webcam by myself is $210 for that day. I've done it. I've seen it. I've logged on multiple times in these company websites to see that number with my name on it that I did it. So when I talk about $5,000 a month, it's a goal I did for myself. If you're a webcam model or an entrepreneur and you have a disability and you have financial goals you want to achieve, you have to work towards them no matter what anybody else says, because they don't have the concept of how it's possible. And I am not here to convince you it's possible. I'm here to do it for myself. I already have the vision for it. I have the plan for it. I already know the numbers for it. I know what I'm capable of doing. I don't know when I'm not able to do it. I already know I know when I'm going to have a muscle spasm in my hands before they happen because of how I know my hands feel. Like I already know right now, my left hand feels fine. My right hand tingles. When my left hand tingles in the palm of my hand, my whole entire arm is going to spasm. And it goes from my rib cage to my stomach and then down my right arm. And all my symptoms are my left side. And then because my right side needs to balance out everything, it goes in my right side. I already know this. I know this so well that I broke it down step by step, minute by minute, what's going to happen. It's been going like that since August. We're now in November. So most of everything I'm saying here, I actually don't need to say it out loud. But the reason I say it out loud is so I can be accountable that I want to get it done. That's the only reason. I said it out loud. It's on the record. This is the record. Let me go do the thing to come back and tell you what I did. Most of this stuff is just for updates. Like, hey, I set this goal for myself. How close did I accomplish this goal? That's it. Like, end of October, I finally got to work webcam. I had a customer spend 30 minutes in private chat at $10 a minute for 26 minutes. I walk away with $130 and something cents, American dollars, for that one day, working 3 hours. Me. Then, as soon as I was done, muscle spasm in both my arms and I couldn't move anymore. Best part about that, website paid me daily pay. I got paid 2 business days later. I was able to buy groceries. So when I talk about webcam, it's because I have 22 years of experience and I know what I'm capable of, and I have a certain expectation from these websites because they've been delivering for me for so long that I expect it to be exactly what it's supposed to be. The only thing that stops me from doing what I need to do is Ontario Disability Support Program. Because anyhow, I get a caseworker and she's like, how are you doing that? I did it. I don't need to tell you how I did it. The fact that I did it, here's the invoice. This is what they paid me. It's what's in my bank account. Am I eligible for ODSP or not? And next time I go to a caseworker and they talk to me that way, oh yeah, I'm going to say it in my professional, voice I can muster up when I say it. even on the panel coming up with Disability Without Poverty, Navigating ODSP, and the Q&A section, I'm going to have to anticipate. I'm saying things that are absolutely true for me because they're absolutely true for me. That's just what that is. Like, you saw me earlier, my bladder was just jumping off the wall where I had to take a break. That's my MS. Luckily, I didn't shut down the whole stream because of a muscle spasm. I had them before. I had them this morning. I had them at 10 o'clock. And I will probably have when I'm done here. So, what did I call this title for this episode? Do you remember? Work self-employed, earn and thrive, single adult, on ODSP, episodic disabilities. Yes, that is me. And I'm trying to figure out how to make new titles of all the things. Because I tend to talk about the same thing because it's going to be the same thing until I pay off all my credit card debt and the disability overpayment. And I would like to have this done debt-free and everything June 2026, June 30th, 2026, because of the way the debt snowball works. No, when I do a budget video, so I do a budget video the last Saturday of November. We'll do a budget video then. And I'm going to take this week, next Saturday, November 22nd, no live stream on Saturday. I'll be working. You may see me on Twitter. I may upload some video clips, upload some videos on the channel in the week. I need to get out the camera and do that because I want to vlog starting the Mavenclad, because Mavenclad is a very specific, special type of treatment where it's 4 rounds of treatment. Year 1, it's 5 days of pills in month 1, then 5 days of pills in month 2, then nothing for the whole year except blood work and MRI and follow up with a neurologist and my physiotherapy. Year 2, month 1, 5 days of pills. Year 2, month 2, 5 days of pills. Then nothing except MRI, blood work, neurologists, and live my best life possible. And then the whole point of me, the overcoming MS, I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Their framework they have like this 7-pillar framework. Where is it? Overcomingms.org. I like their teaching of it. It's the same thing at MS Hope. Is it mshope.com? Or is it mshope.ca? It's mshope.com. So I ended up watching the documentary Living Proof. What's his name? Matt? He had a battle with MS Canada that wouldn't publish how diet and exercise, vitamin D, can help you repair myelin and help you live well with multiple sclerosis. MS Canada does that now. Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada does it now. I can find it now, but they weren't doing it before. Basically, 2017, when I was not yet diagnosed for relapse and remitting, but then my neurologist, he recommended vitamin D. I wonder if he recommended vitamin D after he got a report about vitamin D. I wonder. Now I gotta check my notes. I need to ask my neurologist that question. There's a timing when my neurologist recommended I go on vitamin D, and we did the 10,000 units once a week. I'm wondering if it happened after all the reports came out for vitamin D. Oh, I need to ask. Well, maybe I can read them. Actually, no, I think I can read them. No, I think I'll find them. I'll find them later when we're done. It's bothering me in the sense where doctors are taking a very long time to shift over to adding supplements to help their patients live better quality of lives. And I get it. They get kickback commissions from pharmaceutical companies recommending prescriptions and stuff. It's like them being influencers and they're sponsored by a drug company. But I don't like MS. I don't like it at all. And if I'm living with it, I need to, all the money I'm making from my business needs to go in bettering my health with multiple sclerosis, because it's not going to come from out of the money from Ontario Disability Support Program. It's $1,408. And then we add on my special diet allowance of $215, transportation to $156. So then I get $1,779, but minus $81.15 because disability takes an overpayment. Then I get a whopping $1,079.85. Oh, that's with the overpayment, right? Because October I made $100. I made over $100 in my business. And then I also got the honorarium of $300 from Rise Canada, not Rise, Realize Canada, for doing the workshop for episodic disabilities and storytelling. So then that income, the $430 for the month of October, showed ODSP I was earning an income, and it's less than $1,000 because as of February 1st, 2023, you can earn $1,000 on ODSP and still keep your benefits. So they added a $100 work-related benefit to my, oh, it's coming. November 28th, payment date, there's an extra $100, which will be, we're going to invest $400 this month in my registered disability savings plan. And then $200 is groceries. So we'll see on the budget. Just sometimes when I talk about things, they're all based on a financial number in my budget, based on what's planned and predetermined before the month begins that I plan to do to move my life financially forward, living on disability benefits, eligible for Ontario Disabilities Program, who's practically memorized the entire policy directive where I'm building it into a framework of 5 or 7 steps that people can follow and live their lives, and kind of tell a caseworker to just leave me alone and suck it. I'm only laughing. I may say this in the presentation panel. I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so now we're on Disability Without Poverty. So they're doing their symposium. Let me find their website. So they're doing their symposium. Here's our website. I'll put a link in chat so you can register for the symposium of Disability Without Poverty. I'm excited about it because my presentation of everything I talk about on the channel is in a 1-hour presentation that'll be on their YouTube channel next week. I will put their YouTube channel in chat. Let me find it. So you can subscribe to their channel and then you'll find my presentation. And then when I go live, I will share the link to the presentation so you can watch it. Where is their channel? No, do not sneeze. I like how covering the microphone thinks I'm not going to sneeze. Where? Okay, here's their channel. Their channel is in chat. And then just put it a channel, QR code, caption, edit this one. I put it on the screen. Disability Without Poverty. Okay, and then okay, so we're on this tab. Okay, good. Now I understood what the share thing there showed up on my screen. So Disability Without Poverty in Canada, learning from today to make tomorrow better. You've been seeing me do this on my channel since 2017. As a single person, no children, living with disability, documenting my journey so that main reason why I document my journey is the fact that when I was looking for people that exit off of Ontario Disability Support Program, like individuals, I couldn't find anything. I can only find reports from various academic research people claiming how hard it is to do it, but nothing of who's done it. And that was just very alarming to me, of feeling the trapped feeling of being on disability benefits. So then I finally took the plunge and I document my own journey. I'm in the journey. I'm still in it. I'm still eligible for Disability Support Program, Ontario, and Canada Disability Benefit and the Disability Tax Credit. And I have to reapply for my Disability Tax Credit. And I'm investing in my Registered Disability Savings Plan. But the policies of Ontario Disability Support Program are working for me better than they were working against me in the past. And if you're watching the video, when I got on Ontario Disability Support Program, I'm literally told by a legal aid lawyer, oh, you can't work because if you do, you lose your benefits. And it's the way they said it. It actually, what it meant at that time was 2011, if I earned any income, ODSP would claw back what they give me by 50% on the dollar. Not, oh, you can't work, ODSP will cut off your benefits. That was the wrong information they were telling people. Then 2013, they changed it. They added a flat rate exemption of $200, saying if you earn $200, anything above that will reduce the ODSP payment by 50% on the dollar. Okay, great, but not good enough. And I was still, that was the only window I could work and earn something, because my caseworker was like, yeah, you can earn, go work. Here's a list of employment supports. But it was still challenging, still difficult, not a lot of support for entrepreneurship, not a lot of support for small business. If I told people what I did, they didn't understand what it was. The thing I've been doing since 2003 that made my income to leave the house at 18 years old. Yeah, so everywhere I went, I was feeling like an outsider. So now, Disability Without Poverty is going to have their presentation symposium. It's 2 days event. It's stream A and stream B. Oh, she updated my name. Oh, that's nice. My name is updated. Perfect. So yeah, so I am with Erica. Erica's the moderator. Asif, and Trevor. Trevor's from ODSP Action Coalition. Then there's me, who's thinking about making the organization Disabled Wealthy Foundation. I haven't decided yet. I'm working on that name. I'm working out some issues with it. Do I want to keep it? Do I not want to keep it? Or I just keep everything under my name and I just document everything on my own on my YouTube channel. Then we have lunch, and then so stream A and stream B. So I registered to attend most things in stream A because I wasn't finding anything for me personally, based on where I am in my own journey, interesting for stream B. So if you're watching this and you want to attend, it's free to attend. Oh, they changed that title too. Huh. Oh, good. They're making changes on the fly. That's nice. When I saw this like last night, my full name wasn't there, but now my full name is there, which is nice. And then other things I'm seeing on here that was there that's not there. I'm pretty much very good at the memory game. Remember that game we had when we were kids, where we had a deck of cards and you had to match the two cards? I was very good at that game. I still am, which is impressive, because I can remember what was this yesterday of this that's new on this, and it's only been a few hours. Yeah. I mean, basically what it is, me speaking at Disability Without Poverty. Then how I openly document my journey weekly on my YouTube channel of what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, how's my multiple sclerosis, did I relapse, am I sober? I've been sober for 5 years. Something on Facebook reminded me, like, the last relapse I had for multiple sclerosis, I was not sober. I had a substance habit 5 years ago. Now I'm sober for 5 years and I'm managing my multiple sclerosis right now, today, sober, and it's not that bad. I'm managing. If I need to, I will go to a meeting. But for right now, I'm okay. Um, yeah, it's things are different, and I keep for I keep have to remind myself I was in therapy right up until actually no, I'm still in therapy. I'm in group therapy twice a week. Right? I'm still in therapy. I still see my doctor. I still call into the MS symptom line to report my symptoms. My parents check on me even though they give me a lecture and wonder what I'm doing with my life. Like I'm supported the way I need to be supported, but the other parts that need to be supported are things I have to accomplish by myself. So circle back to the whole disability without poverty stuff. That is pushing me forward to accomplish the goal in the presentation. That the video clips, me talk about this, me talk about what's in the policy directive, how to navigate ODSP. I thought I would go on the Reddit, ODSP Reddit, and like answer questions there, but sometimes that place gives me a headache in the sense that they're they're in a poverty mindset, they're in a scarcity mindset, they're in a limitation mindset. They're setting themselves up to stay in poverty for the rest of their lives. Not all of them, just a good chunk of them that I see that post on here. And I build everything on my YouTube channel to do the opposite, like everything Dave Ramsey. Well, yeah, because Dave Ramsey gave me a very direct "you are here" map. Look here. Baby step one: save $1,000, start an emergency fund. We did that. Yay! Now, baby step two: pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball method. We have $17,353 of debt. According to the debt snowball, it should be finished in 4 months. I don't know how, but we will. And I'm not supposed to know how because I'm supposed to believe in faith and trust in God and get it done. Then I save 3 to 6 months of emergency fund for fully funded emergency fund of adding to the $1,000. The minimum is for that is $5,000. I'm only adding $4,000 to my $1,000 emergency fund. And with me paying off the disability overpayment and it frees up money in the budget and I no longer have the overpayment, that means my disability check would be $1,879. I'm still eligible for the Canada Disability Benefit that's adding $200. That means I take home $2,079 a month. Disability benefits. I can actually breathe, plan out my future, think what I want to get done, grow my business a little faster. The less stress I have in my life, the more I can get done in my future. That is the purpose of that. And then my Trillium drug benefit, $957 comes in June. I'm going to hold that into a GIC and save it for my college fund so I can go back to college and cash flow college. Because I would like to go to college and finish my damn diploma. I would like to finish my diploma. Right. There's a new credit card minimum payment that came out for one of my cards. I have to add it to the spreadsheet. So I'm not doing anything in the budget, but we are going to talk about the baby step 4. Invest 15% of your household income into retirement. This is all the exempt assets in this category. It's the disability savings plan, tax-free savings account, first home savings account, registered retirement account, and then on the right-hand side of the Donald Miller 5 bank accounts, the investment account. This is my disability FU money account number. That's where I save 10% in that account, which I need to add that in there. I realize it's missing. There's only so many things I can add on the slides for presentations. So when I'm going to make a course on my channel, maybe, of how I navigate these two and fit them into Ontario Disability Support Program Policy Directive, because, like I said, nobody other people do it. It's really weird. No, not this. Where's me? Yeah, it's really weird how I don't need that anymore. This. It's really weird how you get on disability benefits, you prove that you're eligible, then they're like, okay, here you go. And it's like they lock the door and throw away the key and tell you, oh, well, that's it. And then slowly over time, supports and services you need to access under the Ontario Disability Support Program, Ontario government, third parties, charities, they lose funding. They lose funding to support you in the support program that they call. Remember, it's Ontario Disability Support Program. And if I go read the Ontario Disability Support Program Act 1997, it says it's supposed to support you. Income support, health benefits, employment support, and additional supports around your disability. It says that. Now, I'm not going to start a class action lawsuit around it. Nova Scotia did over there. They won their case over there. Other people have talked about it here. I will probably mention it in the panel discussion with Disability Without Poverty's symposium, because the more I do this and the more I build up my assets and the more I have to plan out my assets for quality of life and end of life planning, whatever's left over, I need it to go to people. Either it's going to be a basic income. So basically what's going to happen in my estate planning, which I'll talk about it, but it's a, actually, no, I can talk baby step 2, baby step 4, my baby step 5. So the baby step 5, you know, it says fund kids college, baby step 5. I'm not having children. I'll go back to college for myself. I'll finish my diploma program. But my baby step 5 is setting up my foundation. So I'm jumping to Live and Give, and I'm going to set up my foundation. So with Disabled Wealthy Foundation, it is definitely in this space where I will like my assets to be a basic income for some people on disability benefits. And it's a big idea. It's a crazy big idea. I still need to pay off my credit card debt first. But I've been thinking of how would I do it. Set up like I found an organization that can help me set up my foundation, which is great. Then there's lawyers I've talked to about it, which is also great. But the more I go through this, the more I want to do both, but I can't. I have to do one step at a time. And then when we're on baby step 4, I can talk about it a little bit more. But for right now, and I get it. Like people like, oh, don't talk about things until it's done. I'm in a place where I thought this would never happen. I'm also in a place where I thought I wouldn't live this long. So if I sound very like grandiose ideas, that's the bipolar and the ADHD, but it's also what keeps me up in the morning. Like it's literally what gets me out of bed in the morning to see what impossible thing I can do living with a disability on disability benefits to help other Canadians on disability benefits not live below the poverty line. I'm not having any children. So like, let's say I had 4 children, which was an idea I thought in my 20s, and each of them go to college. You know how expensive that is if all 4 of them went to college, if I had 4 kids? The dream I had in my when I was like 22. Yeah, that I no longer have. I'm not having any. I'm child free by choice. So my half of my brain is planning the foundation on top of my business, which are, you know, in essence, they're my babies. My business, the foundation, help other people on disability benefits. Yeah, because the charities are not doing it. I mean, no, they're not. Because, like, technically I'm eligible for any program out there that's a charity program. Because I'm eligible for ODSP, my income is below the poverty line, my tax return shows that I'm below the poverty line. It will increase over time, but we don't know what that number is. So based on last year's tax return that got me eligible for the Canada Disability Benefit, I'm eligible for every government program, whatever is out there, as long as I'm willing to give up on my privacy and financial documents, fill out the form, see what my disability is, get my doctor to fill out a form and pay for my doctor to fill out a form. And each time my doctor fills out a form, it can cost me $75 or $150, depending on the form. And for what? And for what? So, okay, part of the reason I say things that I would like to do, I already feel like my business is already out there. I'm already on government assistance. I'm already living below the poverty line. I'm trying to climb out of the bottom to somewhere in the middle and not at the top, but enough I get a view. I like a good view near the top. That's all. But, if we're going through 100 floors and 100 is the top, can I be on floor 95? Floor 85 would be ideal for me. I'm afraid of heights. Like if we're on a 100-story building and I'm trying to get closest to the top, I want to be on floor 85. Makes sense? I think so. So I am now in this bipolar disorder, grandiose ideas. And the joke is, I know the microphone is funny. They're not delusional. Part of them are working. So if the delusion in quotation marks is working, am I delusional? Because the delusion is coming to fruition. Is that the word I'm looking for? I think so. New wish in, not fluctuation, fruition. You think I've spelled this word before? I have not. Fluvision. What? That is, okay, I think because it has. This is where I would ask. Okay, fruition has an X in it. No wonder I can't find that word. Okay, the action of flowing or changing. Something subjected to action. That's what's happening. So fruition is happening. Let me put the word on the screen. Fruitional and fruition. Not fluxion. Fruition. It says fluxion. All right, I need fruition. Refers to a range of medical products. No, I'm not. That's funny. I'm going to need Google Gemini to help me. All right. Wouldn't that be flu? If you only see what I wrote to check. Oh, good. They gave me a whole thing. Okay. I'm going to play this so you understand how my brain thinks. Okay. That's not it. Where'd it go? Give me a minute. I just had it on the screen. All right. Try this again. Actually, no, it's here twice. Oh, it's here twice. I was like, where? All right. Okay. So I asked it, how can I be delusional when my delusions, and I spelled delusions wrong, are coming true? Wouldn't that be fruition? And I spelled fruition wrong because I don't know how to spell it. And then it says, let me play it so we can hear it.
That's a very thought-provoking question that touches on the complex relationship between our inner thoughts and external reality. In a clinical or psychological context, The term delusion specifically refers to a fixed, false belief that is not based in reality and is firmly held despite clear evidence to the contrary. When something a person believed would happen actually comes true, it's generally seen in one of a few ways: coincidence or self-fulfilling prophecy. Coincidence. Sometimes, highly improbable events simply happen. If you have a belief that is not based on evidence, and the event occurs, it's statistically a coincidence. Self-fulfilling prophecy. This is a key concept where a person's belief or expectation, regardless of whether it's initially true, influences their own behavior or the behavior of others, leading to the fulfillment of that belief. Delusion versus prediction. The difference between a delusion and a true prediction isn't about the outcome itself, but about the process and the evidence supporting the belief before the event occurs. Feature: delusion, psychological; prediction, rational, intuitive, basis of belief. Fixed, unshakable despite contradictory evidence, often illogical or bizarre. Based on analysis, patterns, common sense, or strong intuition, feeling. Relationship to reality. Not shared by others in the culture, and not supported by objective reality. Supported by observable facts, data, or reasonable inference. Outcome. Can sometimes accidentally align with reality. Coincidence. Outcome aligns with reality because the basis was sound, or by chance. The concepts you mentioned, your creative terms, flution, and flu-wishing, capture that feeling when a belief, even a strange one, seems to be confirmed by events. While these aren't standard psychological terms, they are interesting ways to describe flution, fulfilling delusion, a belief that started as a delusion but was accidentally or coincidentally fulfilled. Flu-wishing, fulfilling wishing, a wish or intense desire that seemingly came true, possibly through a self-fulfilling prophecy or just luck. In short, even if an event occurs, the original belief is still considered a delusion if it was fixed, false, and lacked evidence at the time it was formed. The coincidence of the outcome does not retroactively change the psychological nature of the initial belief. Would you like to explore the concept of self-fulfilling prophecies in more detail, or perhaps the difference between a rational prediction and a delusion?
Okay, so I know I probably made up the word fruition, but fulfilling delusion, I like it. Fulfilling wishing, you know what people call manifesting? Sure, I don't really like using the word manifesting, but I like my fruition. And yeah, the self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy. My therapist talked about it all the time. The therapist I used to see every other week for 10 years would talk about it all the time. And the way cognitive behavior therapy works, it kind of, the rational, intuitive, based on analysis, common sense, strong intuition and feeling. The other thing too with the therapist, the recent one, I had a feeling all the time when I was with my ex, when I knew he would come back from being a ghost for a while. And she's like, how'd you know? I'm like, I just know. And then, whatever reason, a few weeks later, the dude would pop out of nowhere. And the cycle would spiral all over again for 10 years. It finally stopped in 2024, August. And I really hope he doesn't try to resurrect himself, because I'm not the same person I was when I was with him. Thank God for that. But at the same time, the things he said that he didn't like about me as the reason why he wanted to leave should be still the same reason why he should stay away. Because he said my disability was too much for him and all these other stuff. Those things that he said he didn't like, that as if they were my problem when really they were a him problem, he needs to stay away because they're still there. They're not going anywhere because you come back into the picture. So, and I've changed a lot. Like, not only I do therapy and I'm in group therapy, I also do coaching. I hire a coach. And hiring a coach, they want you to move in action. I cannot stay stagnant, ruminating on the fear of what if, the self-fulfilling prophecy. So this ChatGPT, actually not even, it's Google Gemini, understanding the assignment of my question, yeah, this is why most of the time on my live streams, I'm pretty very optimistic and happy because there's not a whole lot that can shake me about the whole ODSP disability benefits because I'm not doing anything wrong. And two, everything has to be reported to them. And then they're going to ask for receipts because they lost it. And they have to send it to them again. Like, where my best bet is to follow the Dave Ramsey baby steps. And we already know if you watch Dave Ramsey Monday to Friday, or listen to his podcast, or took FPU, or read his book, the book has sold millions and millions of copies. Millions of copies of people who've done FPU, Financial Peace University, Total Money Makeover, since, he's in the 90s on the radio teaching the financial baby steps with a projector and a 12-week, 13-week course, Life After Debt. If his plan does not work, okay, I'm still on Ontario Disability Support Program. The way I looked at it, I had nothing to lose. I have so much to gain, and the gain is climbing. Because of the fact that I took the Canadian financial rules, the Registered Disability Savings Plan, the disability savings bonds and grants that I'm entitled to legally because we fill out all the forms. They said I'm disabled. I can open my registered disability savings plan. I went to a financial planner. We open the accounts. We pick my investments. I add money to my investments. My investments don't sit in cash in my account for too long. They're pretty much actively, if they're in the account Monday morning, by Wednesday, Thursday afternoon, they're invested in my stock options, which is, I've said them before. I'm not going to say them again because I don't want you to think, oh, pick those stocks like it's going to do anything for you. I don't know. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall hoping it sticks pretty much on everything. But what I do know is dollar cost averaging. The market usually goes up over time. And I'm not looking to have that money in my account for another 10 years because of the way the rules are set up with Registered Disability Savings Plan. So I'm 40 now. I get all my grants and bonds of disability savings bonds and grants to the age of 49. Maximum I can get is $90,000. $20,000 is disability savings bonds. The $70,000 disability savings grants. Then the growth in the portfolio, I don't know what that's going to be. I've been trying to figure it out with all these compound interest calculators. I don't know. But when I talk to my financial planner in January, February, I will ask him if he can predict how big my thing is going to be. But honestly, it's just guessing. It's an educated guess based on his years of experience of working in investment portfolios and managing people's assets. And then me kind of want to have an idea how close I'll be to a millionaire, but I'm not really worried about it because I'm over $100,000 net worth in total investments in my accounts on disability benefits because majority of everything is eligible in the policy by ODSP that already said that I'm supposed to do. And today is not the time to go read the disability policy. Maybe I can do it next week. Yeah, I'll do it next week. Yeah, we'll do that next week. I should write that down, which I don't have anything to write down with. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in fruition. I am fulfilling my own prophecy of wealthy and disabled. And I would like to help others do the same once I become a certified coach, certified financial coach, because there's a new Canadian designation called Certified Financial Counselor. I like to take it. And then there's the H&R Block Tax Academy. I like to get people a basic rundown of doing your taxes because filing your income taxes, you have access to some monies. Like my $957, the Trillium benefit, that's my go back to college fund. I'm going to add $100 to it to bump it up to $1,000, lock it into a GIC every 30 to 90 days. I add to it, and then it'll be full tuition really for one of the college programs, the 1-year program I want to take at the community college. And yeah, I know eventually I'm going to become unrelatable because I have too much money in my bank account. So bye everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Smooches.